this, and this is, as promised, this is me going to talk about the lone ECW show I was allowed to go to back in the original ECW days. This was pretty much on the downward take of ECW. Someday I will probably get on here and I will talk about when I thought ECW started going downhill and kind of what led up to it, because there was something that did happen that I think ECW never really recovered from. So, however, that said, this was in fact a birthday present to myself. Me and I have, out of my 5 very close friends that I've had since high school, we're still very close friends. There was 2 of us, or 3 of us that were wrestling fans, and then there was one that was, he was kind of a wrestling fan. There was my best friend, and my best friend absolutely hates wrestling. So I bought tickets myself. They were, I believe they were $35, maybe $40. I think they were $35 a piece to go to ECW show. And this was going to be a house show, as they were going to tape television in Dallas. And then we were going to get just a basic house show. But it was ECW Live. I was going to be able to see a lot of guys I had never seen. Well, pretty much everybody. I don't think I had seen anybody ever on this card live. So this was really big for me. And I was really happy to see it. And so I was really excited. So I bought my tickets. And then after I bought my tickets, my one friend decided that, well, he didn't want to go because he didn't know the tickets were going to be that much. He was being kind of a wimp and didn't want to go. And I'm like, it's ECW because I'm not really, I don't think I want to go. Well, my friend John, my best friend, who does not like wrestling, was kind of bummed out, actually, that I didn't buy him a ticket, because he was like, well, this is what you're going to do for your birthday. You're my best friend. I want to do what you want to do on your birthday. You know, I can sit through wrestling and watch this with you. Particularly for one live, you know, I can have fun. So I went ahead and said, well, if you want to go, here, I won't make you pay for the ticket because I know you don't like wrestling, but if you want to go, hey, we'll go. And I said, just, you know, buy me some birthday presents when we go to the show, some merchandise. So me, him, and my friend Aaron all go to watch ECW live, and for my birthday. So we get there. And the whole time, John's like, so this isn't like WWE or WWF or WCW, right? I'm like, this is nothing like that. This is totally different. They don't do the same things. You're good. I said, you'll think this is at least better. I said, that's what I kept telling him. I said, you'll at least think this is better. I think you'll like a lot of the stuff that's going on. It's a little, what I kept telling him, it's a little more adult, is what I kept telling him. And he's like, okay. So we get there, and we're mulling around, and we go to, you know, we're looking at the shirts, and he actually did buy me a Rob Van Dam shirt, and I bought myself a Sandman t-shirt, and I would still have those shirts, except that I got rid of them because I felt like the graphics were a little bit dated, so that's the only reason I got rid of them, but I had them for a pretty long time. I think I may have bought a program and maybe a few other things, and then we went over to, because there was an RF video table, which had, you know, a bunch of RF videos, and so there was like 20 of us around this table, and we're digging through these tapes, and we're like, oh, that's a good match, and oh, that's a good tape, that's a good tape, man, that tape's not very good. So basically the RF video guy is just kind of sitting there going, okay, I don't have to do nothing. And the other thing you could do is you could sign up to get the actual tape for you could actually sign up to get a tape of this sent to your house of the show we were going to see. And this is when it dawned on me, and this is when I found out, that apparently the TV truck, in perfect ECW way, had not shown up in Dallas, and so they were actually going to do the TV taping here in Houston for TNN. And I was like, oh, cool. So I walked back over to my friend Aaron and my friend John, my best friend, and I said, hey man, this is actually going to be on television. This is actually TV tape. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. So we're talking, we're all excited about that. So we wind up going to our seats. And when I bought the seats, well, we were supposed to be about 6 seats back, I would say 6 rows back from the ring. And we walk around, and the arena we were at was kind of horseshoe shaped. And we walk out, and where we wound up being was actually front row. They messed up the seating arrangement as well. Front row, just right where the wrestlers came out, which was, now my friend John was pretty excited. He was like, oh wow, we're gonna be right here. This will be cool. I like this. This is going to be awesome. He goes, this might actually be awesome. And I'm like, okay, well, that's good. And my friend Aaron is just marking out because he's a big wrestling fan. He's like, oh, this is going to be cool, this is going to be cool, this is going to be cool. So the show starts, and it started with Jazz taking on someone that I don't remember actually, but I just remember Jazz started out. I'm doing a lot of this from memory because I couldn't actually find a review of the actual show, because there was stuff that was there was stuff that they taped that wasn't on television. So there was stuff that I can't actually find that was on the show. So there was that. Then we had Danny Doring and Roadkill taking on two other guys who I can't remember. I think one of them may be Easy Money, but I can't remember. And anyways, that was a big Danny Doring, big Roadkill mark, and John thought they were kind of cool. Of course, during the Jazz match, he was like, man, she's kind of ugly, and then she got in the ring, and then John didn't care she was so ugly so much. After that, I believe is actually when they came out. Joey Styles and Joel Gertner came out and introduced everyone. Joel Gertner did his little thing. John thought that was pretty cool. Then we had Sandman come out. And now John had never seen an ECW show. John didn't know anything about ECW. Enter Sandman starts up. And John gets this look on his face. It's Enter Sandman. What's going on? And he sees Sandman come down through the aisle. And Sandman winds up about 20 feet away from us. And John winds up being in the mass of humanity that's around Sandman, chanting along, singing along. And Sandman, does his little beer gimmick. And John was actually one of the guys that, he poured the beer down onto. And John was all excited about that. He also got hit in the head with the kendo stick, and he was all excited about that. So we pretty much made him an ECW fan that night, and he hates wrestling. So the next match was, I remember this, I believe it was Simon Diamond. And if Simon Diamond is probably Johnny Swinger, taking on Christian York and Joey Matthews. This was back when Christian York and Joey Matthews were a big up-and-coming tag team. A lot of people thought they were going to be the next big thing. And so it was really cool to get to see them. And they were really good live, I have to admit. They were a good young tag team. Then we got to see, I believe, a Whip match, who I never got to see live, so that was kind of cool. Then we got to see Rhino and Nova. That was a big Nova mark, so that was really cool. Then we got to see a three-way dance. Steve Corino, Jerry Lynn, which was very cool. I got to see Jerry Lynn live, and then Tajiri. And I was such a Tajiri mark that this made my night right here. And that was absolutely, that was, what you would expect. A pretty good match between these guys. Then we got to see Tommy Dreamer and Steve Corino. And sometime between this, Francine came out with somebody. I can't remember who it was. And she was leaned over in front of us, and she had her little G-string on, and she had her little lipstick prints on her ass. And my friend John was like in love. He goes, man, that is skankified beautiful right there. And I'm like, yep, that's exactly what that is. Then we got Just Incredible versus Chris Jetty, which was really good. Most people probably don't remember Chris Jetty, but he was actually pretty good in the ring. And finally, we got the main event, which was Rob Van Dam versus Kid Cash, which was awesome. I don't think that showed up on TNN, but which was absolutely freaking awesome. And it's the first time I ever got to see Rob Van Dam. First time I got to see Kid Cash. I was a big fan of both of them. This was just an awesome night, just from a fan's perspective. It's very hard. This was the only ECW show I was ever able to go to, so it's very hard to kind of judge it against other ECW shows. But just the atmosphere, the fact that there was 2,000 of us, and it was pretty much 2,000 smart fans in the arena, and that made it so much different. Because usually when I go to a event, there might be like a semi-smart guy, and then somewhere you make eye contact. I'm sure most of you are like this with the smart guys when you go to like a WWE event. Because you're only able to make eye contact of like, yeah, what's going on. But there's usually like semi-smart people, and then there's the people that aren't very smart at all but think they're smart, and you have to bite your tongue going off on them. But this wasn't the case. This was all just really fun. We all enjoyed the night. My friend John actually loved it. He still talks about it, to be completely honest. It was almost 10 years ago, and he still freaking talks about it. How if there's ever a wrestling promotion that is like ECW, that I am to take him to it. So next year, if WrestleMania, as rumored, is going to be here, which is the big giant rumor, and Ring of Honor comes, he's going with me. So anyways, that is it for this, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.